Say hello to Keynote, Kay Sanders of Alison South Marketing, where they always have the customer in target, I suppose. How are you today?
I'm good. How about you?
Fantastic. We're so pleased to have Kate and Alison South Marketing as one of our presenting sponsors. And you're going to do some keynote speaking coming up on October the 20th. And what do they say? It's cheaper to keep her. Well, no, that's a husband and wife. But it's much harder to get a new customer, I guess, than to maintain a relationship,
Well,
right?
it's certainly more expensive to get new customers than to retain recurring customers. Certainly costs more money from a media and marketing standpoint. So
and so your talk is going to center on, I guess, the steps that you're going to go through to help people maintain some recurring revenue.
That's right. Essentially, a lot of times people want to hear about trends or they want to ask about a specific social media platform. And that's really kind of in the weeds when it comes to marketing and advertising. And we've got to understand what a consumer journey looks like and how your potential customer makes decisions really before we even get into those things. And so that's a lot of what I'm going to talk about is, what's really changed over the last couple of decades about the way that we do research and that it's called an active evaluation period. A lot of that's changed, especially with the internet, with social media. People go on and ask Facebook friends that they may not have seen in 15 years or may not know very well for a recommendation for a pediatrician.
Isn't that sort of silly?
It's very strange when you think about it.
It's like a popularity contest of who has the most friends, but you still have to do good research.
Yeah. So, and I'm going to talk about that and why there's a reason that people put more value in what their Facebook friend may say over what you put on your website or over what your advertising says. There are reasons that we ultimately, believe someone else who can't pay for, who isn't paying for that testimony. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to understand the different types of media, and then we're going to understand, like I said, really what triggers, when people have that trigger moment to need a product or a service, what does that journey look like that they go on? How do you show up during the active evaluation phase? How do you ultimately, once someone has chosen your product or service, how do you maximize their post-purchase experience so that when they have that trigger moment again to need a product or service that you provide, they don't ever go back into active evaluation. They don't go back to Google. They don't go back to asking for recommendations. They come straight back to you because they had a good experience with you previously. That's what we're going to talk about.
Now, decades ago, and I'm old, I admit it, there were seminars out there, and it was the acronym TOMA. Do you remember that?
No.
Top of Mind Awareness.
Yes.
So
Still very important.
Is that related to what?
Yes. So a lot of times, we talk about the sales funnel and being, top of the sales funnel, bottom of the sales funnel sort of thing, which essentially is just a way of saying where someone is in their consumer journey. But yes, some tactics are purely meant to help with brand awareness. Some are meant for, once this person's really into active evaluation and they're searching, like on Google, for example, when you're doing AdWords, that person's already made the decision that they're going to use some product or service. They just haven't chosen which one yet, but they're really heavy into active evaluation and deciding who they're going to use. Whereas if somebody passes a billboard, the usage of a billboard is really different. Somebody may drive past a billboard 40 times before they have the trigger moment to need whatever that product is. So every piece of marketing, every advertising tactic plays a role in the overall process of getting people to choose your company and then getting people to stay with you as a customer. So that's what we're going to learn about.
I know this is a little off the beaten path, but you mentioned billboards. Okay, how many words is too much on a billboard? Did you ever study that?
Yes, we don't go past 8, and
really?
eight is really too many. I cringe when clients want to, we need to put our address, so we need our phone number and our fax number. If you look at billboards now, because there's a lot of research and our billboard reps, Chris Withers, all of our different billboard reps, they do such a good they do such a good job of sending us new data and research as it comes out. And so there's actually a lot of data that shows the correlation between billboards and internet search. That's really fascinating. So
Okay.
if you look now, most people aren't putting their URLs on their billboards. They've stopped even adding their website because people aren't going directly to your website. They're just going to Google you anyway.
Right.
And so, yes,
So the name probably is important.
Yep, it's
I'm
really
guessing.
that's why it's really a branding tool.
Wow.
You know,
Okay.
you can have a call to action, for example, but other than that, I mean, you really don't want a lot of information on there because unless you are, you know, McDonald's and you're saying exit 5 on the left, outside of that, and if you look at McDonald's boards, they don't even put their name on their boards anymore.
It's the arch.
Yeah,
right?
and it's not even the full arch sometimes. Sometimes just a piece of the arch. That's how
Okay.
well they have branded and ingrained themselves into us. They don't even have to put their name on there anymore, and we still know what we're looking at.
Oh, that's awesome.
But yeah, so we're going to talk about those sorts of things. I've only got 45 minutes I think
Yeah.
when I talk,
Yeah.
which sounds like a long time to most people, but there's so much to know about this sort of thing as a business owner, and so I want to make sure we're going to have a lot of ground to cover, and I want to make sure that we give some really good information to business owners that they can take with them and apply to their own businesses and their way of thinking when they do marketing. Whether they use an agency or not, I want people to be able to understand how to utilize marketing and advertising because it can get really overwhelming. Trends change, product changes, the way that Google manipulates us with our search activity and we don't even realize it. It's a lot. And most business owners say, oh, I got to work on my business. I don't have time to be an expert in this sort of thing. So obviously that's what we're here for. And there's a lot of really good people in our market that are great experts at marketing and advertising, but I want business owners to really be in a position to better understand how to maximize the part that they can control.
Mm-hmm. And we're continuing with Kate Sanders from Alison South Marketing, and your URL is
AlisonSouth.com.
AlisonSouth.com. And for those who maybe don't know the full scope of your company, when did you start here, and how much have you all grown over the last several years?
Sure. So we started in Aiken, South Carolina in 2010. Mike Thomas and Cynthia South started the South Company. And late in 2016, we joined with the Allison Group, Mark Allison, who is, an ad legend, I think, in our area for anybody who's been in our industry for a long time. I can't tell you how often people come up to me and say, I worked with Mark on, he helped me on this. What's he doing now?
My ex-wife worked with Mark back in the day. So
and learning from him is a real treat. He's a copywriting genius.
Yeah.
So he's really fun to learn from and to work with. But so we became Alison South in late 2016 and ended up moving into a downtown Augusta office in 2018. And so we still have our office. We're on Chesterfield Street, downtown Aiken, and then we have an office in downtown Augusta. And since then have had a lot of growth opportunities. Haley Weigel, who was part of our team here, she and her husband moved to Fort Lauderdale, and she said, hey, I don't want to leave Alison South. I love my job. Can I stay with the company? And we said, heck yeah. So for a little while, she stayed with our team here, and then over time, she built a book of business there.
Wow.
And we have close to 30 clients in South Florida now, a team of 4 in that office. I was there last week.
Oh, that must suck to travel to South
It's
Florida,
so terrible. Yeah, during the winter when I get to go run outside in South Florida, it's 70 degrees. It is, although this week they have a hurricane coming.
Yeah,
so
I've heard about Ian.
Not a great,
Yes.
not a great week to be in South Florida. But so we have a South Florida office now. Great clients down there, great team down there. And we're in Chattanooga now as well, have clients in Chattanooga and have a team in Chattanooga. So it's been an exciting couple of years. We've had a lot of growth, even through COVID, had kind of an explosion of team members and of clients throughout COVID. So from an operational standpoint, we've almost been playing catch up over the last year or two.
Yeah.
Because we grew so fast during 2020, with a lot of people needing additional services and messaging and things like that.
Yeah.
So, so we're, into 2022, have all those offices going and growing into some other areas and, have a digital company and a content company as well that provides video for our clients and, for other people. And they travel all over the place too.
Yeah,
So
and this studio is part of
that's right.
some part of Alison South as well. And
That's right.
We've absolutely loved being part of this the last year or so. And of course, your logo, we mentioned at the beginning,
Yeah.
the target, the circle, full, full service, full circle. I guess the best question is there anything you cannot do for a client when they come in? Because it seems to be like a one-stop shop.
I'm trying to think. I'm like skywriting something, but we did fly a banner over the Miami Dolphins stadium for their opening game for a client. So I guess we can even do that. That's the idea, is that we want to be an extension of your company and want to help you solve those kind of problems and take that off your plate. So we find out what your company's goals are for the year, short-term, long-term goals, and then we start plugging in the marketing tactics that'll help you reach those goals. Fantastic.
And again, it's October the 20th. And Kate's the keynote speaker mid-morning, utilizing your loyalty loop to create recurring customers. Is there any food requests with any cravings that you may have for us?
I am eating. I'm going to say this is all her fault. I'm going to blame it on the baby. I'm eating like a college frat guy.
Okay.
I mean, ramen, Pop-Tarts, Eggos. It's pitiful.
That's okay.
It's pitiful.
That's wonderful. If hopefully honey baked ham, turkey, or chicken salad will be okay. Yep. Nothing bundt cake, fruit trays.
Nothing bundt cake. Yeah.
Is that it's okay?
Like
or
7 of those.
Have it'll red velvet, chocolate chip, whatever you want.
They're all good.
You got it. I just want you to be happy and healthy when you get up on the stage, and we know that we have her successor. 20 years from now, we'll be talking to her successor. Right?
I hope less than 20 years from now. I want to retire.
Oh, okay. Kate, thank you so much. And again, AlisonSouth.com is the website to learn more about the company. And I hope that you can join us if you're a member of ABD and hear what Kate has to say to grow your business. Thanks again.
Thanks for having me.
Okay.